Sanhedrin Daf Kov Zayin Amud Aleph, 4 lines from the bottom. The last thing mentioned was that David Melech said he would accept suffering in order to get forgiven for the sin with Bathsheba. Mari de Marav. Shahadashim for 6 months in this Nistara, he had Tzarat. Nistaka and Shechan, the Shekhinah left him. Perishum Minu Sanhedrin, Sanhedrin also didn't talk to him. Nistara, the Tiv, the ways of left Armegel, and Mishulei Kabli. Nistara Minu Shekhinah, the Tiv, Shiva, Lysis, one Vish Echa, Berwach, and Devat, Hani. Perishum Minu Shekhinah, the Sanhedrin, the Tiv, Yeshuv, Beli, Echa. Share, I know there was 6 months. The Tiv, Yamima, Asher, Malach, David, Israel, Arba'im Shana. But Psu says that he had 40 years as king. בחברון, כחברון מלך 7 שנים ובירושלים מלך 33 שנים. 7 in Hebron, 33 in Jerusalem. في בחברון מלך יהודה 7 שנים ו6 חודשים. And it says elsewhere, in Hebron, he was 7.5 months. Sorry, 7.5 years. بعد 6 חודשים מלך חודשים, where how come the other 6 months, other half year didn't count? שמע מינה, we see from here, since Tzara, he had Tzarat. After he suffered, David told him Hashem, Yibron Shalom, and please forgive me for that. Hashem said you're forgiven. Please make a sign for others that know that I was forgiven. Hashem said, I'm not going to do while you're alive, but I'll make it known during your son Shlomo's reign that you were forgiven. And this is what happened. He wanted to bring the Aron into the Kodesh Kodashim. But the gates held each other back and it could not be opened. Amar is sitting by Ba'ah. No. Shlomo made 24 songs at Tefillah. Now the gates stayed closed. Mar Se'u Sharim Rashachem V'Hinasu Petchei Olam V'Yamel HaKavod. Mi Ze Melech HaKavod Amonai Izuz V'Gibor Amonai Gibor Milchama. V'Ne'emar Se'u Sharim Rashachem V'Hinasu Petchei Olam V'Yamel HaKavod. Now this Tefillah were not answered. The gates stayed closed until he said, Kevin Shamar Hashem Elokim Al Tashreb B'nei Mashiach Zochra LaHazdei David Avdecha. Please remember David your servant. Miyad Na'ana, the gates opened. At that time, the faces of David's enemies and people who thought he was guilty of a sin turned black like a pot that got burnt because they were embarrassed at how much they accused him. And the Bnei Israel knew at the time that David was forgiven. Gehazi, the servant of Gehazi, of Elisha, rather, Elisha, Damascus, Elisha went to Damascus. Where did he go? Mar Yochanan Shalach Hazir Gahar B'Shuvah. He tried to get Hazir to Teshuvah. Amar Lo Hazar, he didn't do Teshuvah. Amar Lo, he told him, Hazur B'Cha, do Teshuvah. Amar Lo, he answered, Kach M'Bunicha, I know from you. Ha'chotem Ha'chlit Rabim, Enu V'sekim B'Tolo Asot Teshuvah. Whoever sins and causes others to sin can't do Teshuvah, and that's exactly what I did. Ma'avad, what exactly happened? So, Igdamri, every Shu'evet, Talala Hazat Yeravam. He hung a magnet for the golden calf that Yeravam had set up. And therefore it caused the calf to hover. And people thought it was Avodah Zarah they served. They could to say, Shem Hakak B'fiyah, he put a name of Hashem in the mouth of the calf. And the calf would start saying, so people thought it was a god. They could say Gehazi drove the rabbis away from Elisha. Since now there's place to stay, meaning before it wasn't place. When a person drives someone else away, he's trying to rebuke somebody, use your left hand, your weaker hand, to push them away, to rebuke them, and use your right, stronger hand to bring them back. Don't push them away completely. Do it warmly. Not like Elisha, who pushed Gehazi with both hands, he didn't give him a chance to come back. Gehazi, what happened? Naaman, the king, had Tzarat, and Elisha will see healed him. He told Gehazi, take the silver. And he gave him 2 silvers. Elisha said, Gehazi, where'd you come from? I didn't go anywhere. Bad move to lie Navi who knows prophecy and knows what's going on. Where you think I don't know that what happened when you left Naaman? Is now the time to take money from that king to buy clothes, olives, and vineyards, and sheep and oxen? He listed 8 things: slaves, maidservants. So, when we take that much money, no. He only took 2 out of 8. Rabbi Yitzchak was teaching, but Elisha Yosef V'Doresh B'Shmona Shiratzim. Elisha was teaching the halachot and the Mishnah of Shmona Shiratzim, eight halachot. Naaman Sar Tzava Melech Aram Haya Musar. At that time, Naaman was the king of Aram. He had tzaraat. Amra le'ha'iri v'tad de'ishtabed me'ala Yisrael. It was a Jewish girl who was taken captive. She said to him, "Iyazat legabe Elisha ma'aselach. If you go to Elisha, he'll heal you." So Kiata, when he came, Amar he told her. Amar told him, "Zil tova be'eden, go dip 7 times in the Eden River." Amar so the king said to Elisha, "Ahuk kamahak, you playing with me?" He said, "Well, I don't have water by me that I have to go water over you." His aides were with him told him, what you have nothing to lose. Zil nase, go try it. He dipped. He came to Isha. He brought everything as a gift, and he said, "Please take it as a gift." Elisha did not want it. Gehazi, when he left, Azal, he went, chased after Naaman. Shekama the Shekah, he took the Afkid, and he hit it. Kiata, when Gehazi came back and he was teaching the halachot of Shmona Shiratim, Hazi Elisha the Sa'at Lahab Parcha of the Rasha. He saw Gehazi had Sarat. Amalei told him, Rasha, you Rasha. Hegia Aitli Tol Sacha Shmona Shiratim. V'Sarat Naaman Dibag Lecha V'Gerech Alam V'Yasir in the Tanat Mitzvah Kashalik. He said, "You gave up to learn Torah of Tzarat, and you disobeyed me to take the reward from Naaman. Naaman offered them a reward for healing him. Elisha wanted to Kiddush Hashem. No, I don't want your reward. Keep it." Gehazi went to chase after the reward. He said, "You chase after the reward. You ruined the Kiddush Hashem. You made a Chilul Hashem, and you lost the reward of learning Shemona Shiratzim." That's why he mentioned the 8 things to show that he gave up the 8 things for 8 things. And he left as a Tzarat, and he said, "You and your children are going to have Tzarat forever." Later on, elsewhere, there were 4 men who had Sirat outside the cave, outside the city. Amar Yochanan and Gehazi Shabanav, it was Gehazi and his 3 sons. Hannah, but it said, Amar Bishon Belazar, Yeser Tinot V'Isha, when dealing with a child or a woman, to his Semodo Yamin Makrevet, you should, different explanations of what's going on here. Either it means when you're trying to be, when you're married, you should, like we said with the Minach, don't go all out with your wife, because that will cause you to be more hungry for more lust. Do have a medium, have a balance. The other explanation is when you're rebuking a sensitive person like a wife or a child, you have to show love at the same time. Don't push them away completely with like both hands. Little bit rebuke, right with the love, more back. Elisha was sick with 3 different things during his life. One, because he caused there were a bunch of kids bothering him. They were attacking him, and he cursed them, and bears came and ate and killed 42 of these kids. So that was punishment number 1. One of them because he pushed Gehazi with 2 hands. When the third he died from that sickness. Abraham a sick old age. They looked identical. Whenever people say Abraham, they say, "Oh, it's Yitzhak." Whenever they say Yitzhak, it's Abraham. Therefore, Abraham wanted to ask Hashem for it to be possible of old age so that he could look different. Abraham is again, that's why he says he got old. Ad Yaakov lava husha. Yaakov was interesting as a sickness before death. Therefore, Pasuk Hashem, he asked for it, Hashem gave it to him. Nemar says, your father's dying. He's sick. Until Elisha, no one ever recovered from a deathly illness. But Elisha did recover from his first time he was sick. Okay. New Mishnah. Dor Mabul in the generation of the flood by Noah has no world to come reward. They don't have judgment either. They're just hanging. Not judgment or spirit. The generation that got spread out with the languages, they built the tower of Babel. After Noah, they have also don't have a share in next to Hashem otam misham al panei kol haaretz. Also people of Sodom didn't have any world. Sharing in their next world. Anshe Sodom, Ra'im v'chataim l'Hashem ma'od. Ra'im lo mazeh, hatim lo haba. They will stand judgment for that. No, the blood people and Sodom will not stand for judgment. Shneimar, since it's Alken lo yakumu resha'im b'mishpat v'chataim b'anat tzadikim. Alken lo yakumu b'mishpat, the Torah is referring to the flood people. V'chataim b'anat tzadikim, and Anshe Sodom referring to Sodom. Marlo, not just they're not standing for judgment with tzaddikim. But they'll have their own judgment for Rishaim. Therefore, they will get judged. متاكدين انها حلقة من بعض. Might well have, I'll accept this actually. Don't know about انها حلقة بعض. People of the people in the Midbar, when they left Mitzrayim, they sinned a lot there and have a share in the next world. لأنهم ينزلوا عن judgment. لما بالمدبر هي زي يتمموا بشام يموتوا. طب الله شلون؟ ترى كيف عارف إذا Elohim who made Pasuk says, "Isfully hasidei kortei beriti Allah zavach." Those who seal the covenant with me will be rewarded. That Korach إنها تطلع the people of Korach will not arise by the next by תחילה מתים שנאמר ותכעס על עצם הארץ בעולם הזה ויעבדו מתוך הקהל בעולם הבא. רבי עקיבא רבי אלעזר אומר עליהם הוא אומר השם ימית עמהם וריש אליהו השם will bring them back. תנו רבו אינם מחלקים בעד the people of will not come back שנאמר וימח את כל היקום אשר על פני האדמה וימח את כל היקום בעולם הזה וימחו מן הארץ בעולם הבא. רבי עקיבא רבי אלעזר אומר לא חיים ולא נדין, they're not alive, they won't come back alive, and they won't be judged. נאמר לא ידון רוחי בדם לעולם, לא דין לא רוח דבר אחר examination, לא ידון רוחי וזמין, שלא תהיה נשמתן חוזרת לנדתה. The soul will not come back to the body. ابن حنان مرزي אומר, אפילו בשעה שברוך הוא מחזיר נשמות דברים מתים, when Hashem resurrects the dead, נשמתן כאשר להם בגיהינם, their souls will get hurt harder in גיהינם, שנאמר, טהרו חשש תלדו קש רוחכם מאש תוככם. תמרם. People of the flood became arrogant and they became cocky only because how much blessing God gave them. Makti them was it them betahim shalom mubaha below shevet eloka alehim. Their houses were where there was no crime. God did not punish them. An ox had children, did not easily. The calves did not have miscarriages. His cow did not have miscarriages. Their children were able to play outside without any worries. God had parties and instruments. Days in comfort and pleasantness. And then they died. ויגאל מה שאמרו kill, that's what I said to God. צאו ממנו ודעת, דרכיך לא יהרסו, מה יש שקי כי נעבדנו ומה נעול כי נפגע בו. They said, אמרו, they said, כלום צריכים אנו לא אלא לפיתה של רשמים, what do we need God for? They became so cocky that how much ברכות they had. We don't need God, what do we need you for water, for rain? יש לנו נהרות ומעיינות שאנו מסתיקים, we have rivers and streams to use. אמר כברכו, השם said, בטובה שהתפתו להם המחסין אותי, I gave you that water too, you're using that against me? I'm going to punish them with the water. That's when God punished the water. People of the flood, they got arrogant because of the freedom they had with their eyes, which looks like water, which has water in it. They took any wife they wanted. Therefore they got punished with water. Like the eye, شنو مرة كل ما تهم رباب ربط شمال نتاع مرة بيخلون دور ما بو برباب كلو. People of the flood acted rabab great, وبرباب ندونه therefore they're punished with great. برباب كلو شنو بيارا شم كي ربارة هذا. وبرباب ندونه therefore they also got cursed with judged with that شنو مرة كل ما تهم رباب. مرة بيخلون شلشان يصير man 3 people lived after the flood. Sorry, 3 waters from their state after the flood. Beluad de Gader, the whirlpool by Gader, the Hamet Tiberia, the hot springs of Tiberia, the Enera Bati Tiberam in that place as well, that were placed next to Eretz Israel that remained after that flood. Ki Yeshid Kobasar that Kol Aretz Hashem destroy all the living on the earth. Marbi Chanan the Meche, Bu Behima Haya, Behaya Behima, Vahakula Adam, Badam Akol. Domesticated animals were having intercourse with wild animals and vice versa, and the animals with humans, and humans with animals. Marbi Abar Bahana, Bechulam Hazru. After that happened, after the flood, they stopped doing it with each other. Post except for the Tushlami bird that started being with other species. It's time to end the creations. Come see how bad robbery is. The consequences are so bad. The people of the flood were doing all avirot. They weren't punished until they started doing robbery. بكتير حماس كم لمطر عشان robbery, the Avirah robbery came like a stick. And it came before Hashem. He said, nothing belongs to them. They're stealing everything. ואף על נוח נחתם גדין. Even initially Noach was fully punished. And שנאמר ולא נוח בהם. אלא ישמעאל. אף על נוח נחתך גזר דין שלו, אלא שמצא חן בעיני השם. Even Noach was supposed to be punished, but he found favor in Hashem. שנאמר, נחמתי כי עשיתים לנוח מצא חן בעיני אדוני. וינחם השם כי עשה את הארץ בארץ, כי אתה דין אמר, מה קרה לכו, יפה עשיתי שתקדם להם כברת הארץ. Hashem was happy that he ended up killing the people of the flood. He didn't regret it. מה עם השם was mean that? תבחר וינחם השם, תבחרתם וינחם אותם וידבר על ליבם. Hashem's heart, quote unquote, was pleased. بيجي ده عمري مثلا ليه في عصيت شيء لهم كفر بعرس عشان ساعدين عدوا ولا كذا كيف من رحم كيف من رحم على شيء يبقى أصلا لما أوكي إيه ده طب نوح إيش صديق هي تمين هي بدرتاف دي نوح صديق at that time in that generation ما بيخنام بدرتاف only in that generation لو بدرتاف الحين he would not be considered صديق in other generations برجع كيشتمار is no opposite بدرتاف he is صديق in that generation of the Shaim كل شيء كان برحم so for sure it'd be in other generations as well if he lived elsewhere. You for sure been Sadiq. Rabbi Yochanan, Mashal Rabbi Yochanan, how can we explain a Mashal for Rabbi Yochanan? Lahabich yain like a barrel of wine. Shaitam Munacha b'martif shel chamesi in a cellar full of vinegar. B'mukamari hamudaf. While the wine's open among the vinegar, you smell it. Noticeably so because everything else smells terrible. So to Noah, it was noticeable that he was Sadiq because everybody else was a Rasha, but otherwise he wasn't that big of a Sadiq. Amar Rabbi Yoshaya, I'll give you a better example. Mashal Resh Lakish what was the Mashal for Resh Lakish? A flask of it's like a oil that's placed next to a filthy place. In this place you could smell it. In a fragrant place you could smell it. So yes, Noah was a Sadiq at that time, and it's amazing. But and for sure he'd be a Sadiq in other generations. عشان not to kill all the existence. Man said wild animals in. What did they do wrong to deserve this destruction? Like a man who made a wedding for his son. But he made a party for everybody. Then we met after a while his son died before the party took place. Ahmad Upi said it he took them to the wedding and the party. Mari said, Kumasti, I made this whole party for my son. Now that his son died, he doesn't want the party. Said, I create all the animals for a man. Now that man is sinning was being destroyed, I don't need them anymore. From there that the dry land creatures died, but not the fish and the sea.